Sunday in California.
Huh?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Friday Night Frenzy, where everything is canon and the topics, they're more like a set of guidelines. All right, before I go the rest of the spiel, Melee has a very confused face on her.
I don't know what I just watched. Every time I show up here, there's like an intro, and I'm like, "What is this?"
It's Friday,
Very
California.
So is this like a movie? I've heard of this clip before, but I've never like had to sit through it. So is this like from a movie or what?
I think it's actually from like Japanese tokusatsu, like Super Sentai from Kaku Ranger or something.
Oh, okay. It's like, why does
that was
everyone
good,
know this reference?
Well, I just figured it's the perfect intro because we're kind of like, it's a Friday Night Frenzy, and today is Friday in California.
Technically, it is Friday in California as of right now. Yes.
You are correct, Gaijin.
All right. Let's do the intros. Also, Safe Tourist coming in with the pre-show comment. We always appreciate that. So this is the Friday Night Frenzy where we talk about some good topics. This is actually the Friday night feature, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's introduce our lovely co-host. First and foremost, we have the man for whom Rooftop Korean is his favorite gender. We have Chris of Infinite Tail Comics.
Hey.
Next, we have the mistress of ships herself, Buddy Girl Nix.
Hello.
And last, and certainly not least, is our very special guest, the woman who can rant about Sonic for over 2 hours and make it vastly entertaining. We have the one and only, very hard to replace, Melee K.
Well, thank you for that beautiful intro. And yes, I ranted about Sonic for so long that I literally stopped in the middle of the show and I was like, guys, I'm not going to talk about this anymore. I've been ranting for too long. I need to stop.
Well, let's talk about some more. Let's get into those headlines.
No!
Dogs and cats living together. Fastest carrier.
All right, welcome to the headline hysteria. We're talking about all the stuff that's important, just not enough for a full stream. I wasn't going to have headlines, but then Melee came up and said she ranted about Sonic for 2 hours. So I figured let's let her rant for 2 hours more. Just kidding. She's not going to rant for 2 hours. She's going to rant for 3.
No, I can't. Literally, we were talking at like 3 a.m, and I had just finished the show pretty much. I think like an hour before that because I was just yelling for so long. I can't.
All right. So just give us a till, dear.
Of what? Of Sonic? I mean,
of your Sonic rant. Give us the highlights, the cliff notes.
Okay.
In brief, whatever phrase you want to use.
Well, for those who don't know why we're even ranting about Sonic to begin with, Sonic X Shadow Generations did drop on console today and PC yesterday. I think there was like early release too. I don't know. I'm not keeping track of it. But this is a remake of Sonic Generations with added Shadow content. And people started pulling some screenshots side by side and seeing that they altered some scenes. Now, this is a remake rather than a remaster because you have Shadow spliced into this. So it's natural that some of the scenes might play out a little bit differently, but there is some very blatant censorship, such as a scene in the intro where instead of Sonic having his palm in Amy's face, Amy is giving him cupcakes like this instead. Little things like that. At one point,
that's a little, but yeah.
Well, I don't consider it little, but a lot of people do, and that's where all the autism from me came from, because I'm like, any censorship is bad censorship. I don't care.
What was the relevance of it?
Well, I guess they're trying to soften.
Slapstick.
Yeah, they got rid of the slapstick stuff. They're trying to like soften the whole dynamic between Amy and Sonic, because in Sonic Frontiers, they share a very sentimental moment, and so now everything else has to be a little bit gentler on Amy. I mean, there's a huge... This was where all my rant came from. Do you guys know about the Sonic mandate list by any chance?
Somewhat. I am familiar with it, but I don't know what's on it.
So they're essentially Ken Penders is a name that most Sonic fans hate, and there was a lawsuit that happened because of Archie Comics and all of this stuff, and so Sega pretty much
you invoked the name.
I had to. This is because the thing is, people are running with this conversation. And people are thinking this is just like 2024 modern like BS. I don't know how much am I allowed to swear on here. I'm really trying not to swear, but this makes me swear. But it was like a like whole thing of people being like, "Oh, it's like woke this and that and whatever." I'm like, "No. Sonic has been censored for a long time and there's a reason for that. And it's because of a lawsuit." And so Sega is very afraid of doing certain things. They have characters tied up in this lawsuit. They don't really want to tread on old stories. At one point, there was like this like kind of classic and modern Sonic divide. So characters in Sonic Boom, for example, shouldn't be referenced in new Sonic media. So there's a lot of like really weird rules. Well, one of them is that there's not supposed to be relationships in the Sonic universe anymore. And so obviously Sonic and Amy are like the relationship that everyone knows. Like everyone knows this. And so like in the media, they've like pretty much taken out references of Amy being the girlfriend and stuff like that. But then they'll still have her saying like he's cute, which to me just says the same thing where it's like, "Oh, you're so cute. Thank you for saving me." Like it's so easy to tell that they're in some kind of romantic thing, whether or not it's an official relationship. So yeah, this is all because of Ken Penders and his stuff. And then they made this mandate list, tons of stuff. That's where you're seeing the Rouge stuff come from as well. Interestingly enough, there's actually a clause in there, and I don't know if this has changed because this is 2020 and they've kind of softened since 2023. But there was a clause where it said like you can't change the outfits, for example, without getting approval. But they did change Rouge's outfit in this. So they covered up her back more. You see less cleavage, etc.
They took her tits.
Like I said, yeah. There's a lot to this.
Like okay. A quick aside.
Slapstick that they took away from Amy smacks like Knuckles back, and he hits a tree. They took that out, and I'm like, why though? It's the stupidest thing.
So I think, and I don't know for sure. Obviously, there's just a lot of stuff around it, but I feel it's because they're pushing Knuckles as like a character. You know, they had the TV show and stuff like that, and the movies coming out. I think it's part of that just to make him look stronger because he is a strong character, but also because this is where we get Tizney, right? Now, obviously, most of us just consume the shows and the games, right? That's where I kind of sit. But there are a lot of people that read the comics week to week. Think of this like a Star Wars fandom, Star Trek, anything like that, right? Like there are, if we're getting into deep discussions about the Force with Star Wars and how it doesn't make sense for certain characters to have the Force or the way that they're using the Force, or in a battle, like who would win? Obviously, this person wouldn't beat this person, whatever. To me, the Amy and Knuckles thing is like Amy wouldn't be able to hit Knuckles that hard. So is that change because Amy isn't actually strong enough to do that unless she's got her hammer in her hands, So I don't necessarily consider it a woke change. I consider it like is this just like super deep lore? I'm giving the benefit of the doubt on that one. Now there's other ones where it makes no sense. For example, Knuckles and Sonic are talking and Knuckles calls Sonic fat. They took that out in this version. And so they still kept the screenshot though of Sonic rubbing his belly. It looks like he ate Angel Island, guys. I don't get it. It's just because they're just having a conversation and
Sonic needs to lay off the chili dogs every once in a while.
No, we're interpreting this. Sonic is pregnant with Knuckles' child.
Yeah, he's either pregnant, which is way worse.
Nix. I wish we were on my Discord right now. Otherwise, I'd have you bonk him 50,000 times for that comment.
What, you've never seen deviant art? I've seen that stuff.
I try to stay away from it.
Dude. So there's Rule 34, and then there's Rule 34 Sonic. That's a very special hell.
Yeah, we don't go near that.
Yeah, we don't. Yes. I hear a sound of a balloon inflating, and I have PTSD.
Exactly. Yes. So, but see, doesn't that make it so much worse? To me, this is just a really sloppy remake. I mean, like graphically, it looks beautiful in certain points, and I love Shadow, so I'm actually excited to play it. I will still be playing it. I'm just gonna pick it up used or wait until it goes on sale. But like, it's just crazy how weird it is with all the changes. And that's why I went into this big rant, because there are people obviously running with it in the culture war saying like all of our games can't have this anymore, can't have this. And I don't fully disagree. Of course, you guys know my stance on censorship and all of this stuff. And I'm very aggressive about it. And I definitely agree. But a lot of people don't have the context of all these lawsuits that impacted the IP. I mean, like, we've seen censorship for so long with Sonic, even with like Sonic X. I showed a screenshot.
No.
is
melee.
changing now?
James, boom, boom, boom.
Why? Why?
Go
I
home,
should have read
James.
that whole thing before reading it. I trusted you, James. I trusted you.
Why would you trust us?
Because
Why?
I thought you and James were my friend.
We're chaos. I will say that. But like the censorship
Chaos
is
control.
it's always existed in Sonic, and I will always point it out whether it's like the main point of conversation for people or it's not. In Sonic X, 4Kids did so much censorship, like with the champagne bottle turning into a sausage, for example, and it looks ridiculous. Like
It looks even more phallic.
It really does.
Yeah.
But also, seeing Rouge and she's bending over to talk to a smaller character, and in the original, you can see her cleavage. In like when they tried to censor it, it looks like her top is too big for her body.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like she's
exactly.
wearing
It's
a costume.
falling
Actually,
down.
I was reading something before the stream. I was scrolling through Twitter. Yes, hardcore. That is most people's reaction.
Yeah.
About how apparently in Sonic Adventure 2, Shadow's always staring at her Rouge's cleavage. Or
Oh,
something,
yeah.
like a creator revealed
Every
that.
moment. Every single moment. I feel like they made him
Clearly.
slightly shorter just so he could do that at every moment. Absolutely. So
I mean,
that-
I respect the dude. He gives zero fricks.
I mean, that's
well,
why I
this-
love Knuckles.
Yeah,
I
thi-
think
this,
my. Oh, sorry.
Well, okay. Well, I think this shines some light on something that we had discussed last episode as well. Dude,
Oh.
these remakes or these remasters, like it's a remake. Like the amount of unnecessary changes that they're putting into these things, it's making me just be like, just emulate it. Like, just go for the original. Like,
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Silent Hill 2 was bastardized in that remake.
I don't know enough about Silent Hill 2's remake,
And,
but like the fog
like-
thing alone would concern me because that's a
really?
big deal.
These
Yeah.
two down here are like huge. Like they literally took over the show for like a good hour.
Yes!
I just
Oh,
like
awesome. I
sit
need
here
to watch
smiling
that
like an idiot.
and learn from them because
But,
I
like,
did enjoy Silent Hill, but I'm not like super passionate about it. So
one of my biggest gripes with this new Sonic canon is what they're doing to Maria, because they mention in a screenshot I seen that she's been onto Earth, and I'm sitting there like, because I've been playing since Sonic Adventure 2. That's like
Yeah.
literally the first Sonic game I started with, and I was like, now hang on, I've been keeping up with this lore since I was like 7 or 8. Maria's never been to Earth. She was born on the Ark, and due to her disease, had to stay on the Ark
yeah,
till they could find a cure. Shadow was supposed to help find that cure. That's why he was created.
technically the only time she's on Earth is her grave. That's that's
Yeah.
grim to say, but that's literally it. And they censored
her
that out
name-
of Sonic X. Like that was a
Her
scene in
name
Sonic
is
X.
supposed to be on a wall of remembrance for all the people who died during Gun's raid on the Ark.
Yes, exactly.
In the Japanese version too, one the soldier who shot her has like clear PTSD over doing it because he killed a small child essentially. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
that'll-
crazy storyline. And they completely botched it in the English version. You don't know any of this.
Yeah, which is funny because years earlier in the game,
James's
earlier in
parents
Sonic
did him a
Adventure
favor.
2, they blatantly it's blatantly noted that she's dead, that she was shot. You see Gerald Robotnik's you see him right before he gets the firing squad on him.
Yeah, and they also took out that like ISIS assassination too in the cartoon. He's still
Okay.
talking and you hear gunshots in the background. It's the
Okay,
most funny thing ever.
Right, one question, then we're gonna move on to Scooby Doo because I feel like if I don't put a cap on this, this will just be the entire stream.
You open the box. I told you that I can go on this
I don't
forever.
want to close the box.
And then
I'm
I
gonna be the
discovered
good
that
host.
Nyx can as well. And now we're having a good time.
Sonic
So
Fan-
the-
I'm
the-
actually
do you
getting
think-
a Shadow Squishmallow when I go see Sonic 3.
Oh, I love that. That's so cool.
So speaking of Sonic 3, do you think they'll recreate the firing squad scene in that movie?
God, I
that's-
hope so.
I'm getting front row seats. I want to see Maria get shot in the head live in HD.
Okay,
It's
you know what?
something only Sonic fans will understand is going to a
Legit.
theater just to watch a young girl get shot in the head.
Okay, I'm kind of Nix, use mod powers. I'm
about to
sorry.
get booted from the show, everyone.
No. It's something else. It's something else to talk about.
I'm just kidding. Oh my god. Anyways, yeah, I'm definitely going front row for that.
I'm actually waiting for like the videos of like audience reactions to Maria getting shot, and like she gets shot and the entire theater erupts and cheers.
Oh yeah, it's like I said, it's something only. From? Where did what?
The streamers and the balloons come down.
Oh yeah, they have like confetti and everything.
Oh my God. No, it's not you. It's not you, James. You are surprised. You are shockingly innocent for once.
Is that possible?
Shockingly.
But yeah, I can't wait because at least one theater is going to react like that, and they're going to post it online, and then people are going to freak out.
Maybe I'll bring like balloons with me or something.
Like party favors.
Hand them out to the crowd.
Oh god. I'm gonna be going seeing Sonic. We're probably gonna cover on this channel. It'll probably be a Friday. Okay. I'm doing this myself. Sorry, we have rules for a reason. We've talked about this. Thank you, Nix. Sorry, some people in the chat got a little feisty. We've had brief conversations, so
I need to step away for like 10 seconds. My youngest niece is about to go home, and I need to help because, well, my family's pretty much useless without me, unfortunately.
Don't let her watch Sonic 3. She might be afraid of her future.
She's not even a year old. She's not going to be watching Sonic 3.
Man.
All right, Phoenix, I'm giving you the chance to shut me up on Sonic. I shut up for 2 seconds.
All right. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use this rare moment where Nick is away from the stream. We're switching topics. Murray is dead. So yay for that. Let's talk about Scooby Doo.
All right. Okay.
So where are you? All right.
Whoa,
so we're
really
talking.
Good.
Scooby Doo.
Is Scooby in the room with us? What's happening?
I don't know. I do smell the faint smell of weed, though that might just be my staff.
Well, did you guys ever see the meat canyon or whatever it was, the explanation of why there's all the different iterations of Scooby Doo?
Wait, no. What?
Yeah. I posted a link to it a couple of weeks ago, but it's this horrifically dark, like damn, that's even dark for me thing, but it's funny because Velma is the key to everything, and
of course she is.
Well, Scooby starts talking with a British accent, and it's like, I keep undoing this world and killing you all and rebringing you back to life, and yet you're not satisfied.
Correct, sir.
He basically like. She's the only one that remembers all of her past incarnations, and Scooby is this like demon that's been like imprisoning the Scooby gang in like like. You ever notice the scenery never changes? Like you're always at that theme park or the abandoned amusement park or the haunted house. There's a reason for that.
Is she like reliving the same nightmare over and over again?
Yeah, and she gets killed, and then they go to like suddenly like they cut through all of her different like past incarnations, where it's like the pup named Scooby Doo, like the original '70s, and then like all the other ones, and then they finally get to her present form, which is the Mindy Kaling version, and it's like, you were too smart for your own good. Don't run. You know I enjoy the chase.
See, as some people have commented, this movie is kind of the beginning of like the Velma love. Because before this, Daphne was kind of like the hot one. She was designed to be the hot one.
Dude, Linda Cardellini, man. Whew.
She killed the role. She killed it in the role, first and foremost.
Yeah.
I love like the accent. Like she had like a very Velma type accent. Also, the thing is, watching this movie with adult eyes, I love like the subtle acting that everyone has, like the different facial movements they have. This is actually surprisingly well acted, and I must say, Rowan Atkinson is perfectly cast as the villain.
Yes.
Everyone's acting in this is perfect. The only thing I would ask for is more of this. Like, I wish that they made more of these movies. Everyone was perfect in the role. Now, sadly, they're a bit too old for the roles, but wow. Like, we were spoiled back then. And yes, go watch that WWE Scooby Doo film. It's actually interesting.
Yes.
Wait. Isn't there one where like they have John Cena come in? They even play his,
There's a John Cena one.
WWE.
Yeah, that one's decent, but then the Undertaker one's weird.
I want to see the one where they cross over with Supernatural. I kind of want to see that just for those.
Wait, that crossover, is that the one with the guy that everyone obsesses over? I know nothing about Supernatural. I'm getting judged for not knowing about something. Did you see that face?
How dare you?
Yes.
Philistine.
But yeah,
I haven't seen the second one. I actually never really had any. The thing is, I remember seeing the previews and I saw that they had Ruben Studdard, the American Idol winner, and it's like wait, they're bringing him in, like
highly topical. It won't stand the test of time.
Well, the second one's not a wrestling movie. It's like monster trucks with wrestlers. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, the thing I like about this first movie is it still works, but it is very much a movie of its time. Like, like obviously the hairstyles, the clothing, just the way it's presented, like the fact that there's like a random skateboarding scene. It feels very like extreme sports, pop punk. Obviously, like you have a Scooby Doo in like Rastafarian for some reason, which is very early 2000s. I gotta say,
that was like the Sean Paul era. It was like it just totally made sense. Everyone had that album, and then Scooby's doing the Rastafarian thing. I have it literally on in the background because I'm just like, this is such a gorgeous movie, and it's just so easy to look at, and the costume design is just perfect. The acting is perfect. It really feels like a contained episode, but slightly longer, which is great because you need it to be for a movie. But it doesn't overstay its welcome, and that's what I really love about this movie.
And the thing I like about is, so I think this really does tie into the Flintstones one we did last month. I think these two are good examples of how to adapt to television because both of them, usually when you do these adaptations, like, okay, you got to do this catchphrase, this catchphrase, these moments, like it's like a checklist of things people want to see. And usually a lot of movies, they kind of do it in haphazard, like, okay, just get them in, get them over with. This one, I feel like they kind of integrate them into the movie, and it's very natural. Like the Scooby Doo, where are you? They actually do it twice, and like the gang splitting up, I thought was kind of well done. I also think of having it do it as like the Mystery Inc. Returns kind of format actually does help because they have that history there, and they can call upon that.
Well, one thing that I'd like to point out is that you mentioned that like it's a very pretty movie. Like, dude, the movie's like 20 years old. Like, this is kind of depressing. Like, how come like special effects like just froze? Like they haven't improved. They've actually gotten worse in some regards.
I would argue. Okay, so the CG on Scooby surprisingly holds up decently well. The monsters.
Yeah, they're a little funky.
The monsters they came from a PS2 game, and that's being generous.
Yeah.
Okay, which one? What had better CG? This or the train fight in Black Panther?
Yeah, dude, that's a perfect example. Yeah, that was terrible.
You guys watched Black Panther? I didn't even watch it.
I didn't.
I liked it. Like I know maybe I'm the Philistine. I liked it because
I'm not judging anyone that liked it or watched it. I'm so done with Marvel slop. I had no idea people were watching it.
Well, anything after the phase 2 or phase 3, I'm pretty much out. So
I will say, watching this movie, I do feel like there's an R-rated version of this somewhere. It does feel a little bit trimmed down.
There is a cut scene with Velma, and she's doing like a burlesque dance, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
The bikini. Woo!
Yeah, they
That's
should've
another
kept that in.
cutscene, actually. And
Yeah,
it's
that's why
supposed
when you
to go
see
into
Velma,
a bit more horror, which is actually
Yeah.
did kind of freak me out as a kid. Like, I had the VHS, and it had all of the outtakes at the end of it,
Mhm.
and the weird little burlesque dance. I remember it very clearly. On top of the piano, and then Mr. Bean's like, "She does know those are non-alcoholics, right?" Because she had been drinking before. But also, like, that scene with her in the bikini and Daphne goes into the change room and it starts to, oh my god. Like, right from the get-go, the scene is very unsettling. And if you haven't seen it, you need to look it up on YouTube because, like,
Oh
damn,
yeah,
if they had kept it in
strictly
the
for
movie,
research.
if they had
Yes,
kept it
the
in
research
the movie,
for the
though,
show.
How'd you get
I
it
need
to
to, I
look
need
like
to, I
that?
need to look this up strictly for academic purposes, please.
Yeah.
that voodoo guy, though, the voodoo guy they had in it, he talks to Daphne. Oh man, I
Yeah.
will never forget that one line. Here's a clue: purple's a fall color. It's the middle of May.
Oh my god, I know that cracked
Or
me up.
or like, get your aerobicized butt out of here.
Yeah.
The quips in this are great. The voodoo person reminded me of like one of the James Bond movies too. I'm like, is this? I wasn't around the same time, but it was just like that certain style. You don't see it anymore. I really just miss everything stylistically with this film. It doesn't exist in modern media.
Yeah.
No, not at
Well, the
all.
problem with this movie is that it has actual sets. Like, Hollywood doesn't build actual
Yeah.
sets anymore. It's all green screen, or they put you in front of a giant OLED screen now. That's what they do.
Dude, I wanted to go to that theme park island when I was a kid, and I still want to go to it. That giant, like, spiked skull disco ball, I want that.
Yes. Oh my god. Have they sold off any of the props from that? Like, I would totally buy some
I'm
props
sure
from
they
that.
have. It's been 20 years, but I like. Oh my god! Imagine that disco ball still does exist and it actually comes up for auction. Melee and Nyx are into a bidding war for it.
No, I would just go to Etsy and be like, someone make me this now. That's my secret.
Oh, I'm sure someone would happily build that for you.
Yeah,
And it'd be $1,000.
that's true. Yeah. Oh my god. No, but I love everyone's just acting in it. I mean, Buffy is being Buffy, let's be real.
Yeah.
See, this is what's hilarious about. So she took this movie to try and get away from Buffy, and she ended up just having an action, just doing Buffy, because she was still doing Buffy when this is like during.
100%. It was completely Buffy. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're not. I mean, I love her as Daphne. I think it makes sense, but I'm like, this is Buffy. But I love
And here's
Buffy as well, so I have no problem with
Here's
it.
the problem.
Yeah.
Sarah Michelle Gellar is a good actress. Have you seen Cruel Intentions? Where she plays a villain.
No.
She is amazing at like she is not playing Buffy in that one. She is like honestly frightening as like an evil villain
It's called
seductor.
Cruel Intentions?
Yeah, it's the American version of Dangerous Liaisons.
Ooh, okay. All right, yeah, I'm gonna watch this. I watched I Know What You Did Last Summer recently. I loved her in that too.
Yeah.
It is very much an early 2000s movie. Also, you get to see her making out with Selma Blair, so there's that too.
And that's what you watched for research, right?
Yeah, strictly research.
Yeah. He needed to research it for the show. Took notes too.
Vigorously.
That's just the pen shaking. He's trying to get the ink out.
Oh, I have a scratch on my leg. Hello.
Melee. Here's okay. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but there's currently an auction going on right now that I wish I had money. If I had, like you were talking about, if I had money, I'm looking up the I'm looking at the page. We're gonna look at it real quick. So
any movie I would spend props. I don't know. My answer would be Lord of the Rings always. If I could get any prop from Lord of the Rings, I'd be happy. It could be someone's shoe. I would just be happy to own it.
Do you know how sick the detail is from Weta when they did all of the props? Like
Yeah,
the guy
and
the interior stuff we don't even see is detailed.
They did so much work, and then what does freaking Unity do? They shut them down.
Yeah.
They shut down Weta. Crazy.
All right.
Yes, Power Rangers.
Oh, Zax.
So they are Hasbro is currently auctioning off everything, like all the props from the show. You
my
can literally
God.
buy them right now. And look at some of these bids, like 3,000. You know, oh god, I would pay an ungodly amount of money for Billy's actual suit. Like these are screen used, also.
Why are there two versions? One was like a matte, and the other one was like a shiny.
Yeah.
One might be hero, the other might be stunt.
Oh, good catch.
Yeah, and these are like original props. These are from like the 90s and whatnot. There's gold.
Oh shit!
Yeah, like they go all the way back to like OG. Here's the movie suit. You know, Saba.
Yeah, this has been a whole debate, right? Because some people wanted to go to the original actors. Some people just want to buy the stuff. And then, like James said, it belongs in a museum. I'm in the museum camp.
I am in a museum too. My thing is like the whole like, some of the actors, it kind of came across as like whining to me a little bit. Also, they shot themselves in the foot. Like the Cosmic Fury actress, Hunter Dano, made like this big to-do. And then like, oh, there's Elgar. That one had as well.
No, that's like a Ninja Turtle mask falling apart.
Yeah.
Oh god. Oh, you want to see Ninja Turtles? You want to see Ninja Turtles, buddy? Let me.
Wait, do they have Ninja Turtles? Oh my god.
Well, like it's all like the animatronic heads all deteriorated. It looks like a Five Nights Freddy's nightmare with teeth and stuff.
All right.
Zombie turtles.
Make that a video game. All the mascots from our childhood, but they're like old and decrepit, and we walk through it.
Oh,
yeah! Look at that.
Oh my god,
those are the TV
actual
show ones.
TMNT. What?
Yeah, this is from TMNT The Next Mutation, which Saban did.
I would not want this in my home. This is traumatizing. You would like wake up in a sweat, like after a nightmare or something, and you'd look up and you'd see like Mikey staring at you, and you just run.
Unlike Turtle, because it runs. Oh, I can't say that.
All right, there's Masked Rider, some Beetleborgs.
Oh, I know somebody who would try to buy the belts. You know, it looked like the Common Rider stuff. Like they have those, their what is it, the henshin belts there where they put the thing in. Oh man!
Ninja Turtle outfits look terrifying back then too.
Yeah, they were so lifeless. Like, look at the eyes. Like those eyes have seen some shit. Like
and the characterization for all of the turtles was absolutely atrocious. They were all Michelangelo essentially, and it's like no.
So everyone complaining about the female Ninja Turtle in the IDW comic, Saban Brands did it 20 years ago.
Yep,
30 years ago.
And it was horrible then too.
Yeah.
They gave
base nicks.
They had turtle boobs. There was they gave Venus turtle boobs.
Yeah, we don't need turtle boobs though, like at all, ever.
No, I like boobs, but not on turtles.
Well, it's like the Howard the Duck movie when every child was traumatized by duck tits. Woo!
Oh my god! What the heck? Oh my god! Yeah. Honestly, those are actually a lot better preserved than some of them. Like I've seen some of the other suits; they look absolutely horrifying. Those are actually fairly well preserved.
I'm surprised there isn't any kind of like museum because there's like a cultural like significance to that stuff. Like the 90s. Like honestly, like here's my weird thing is I would love to go to like a mall or like a museum that's a mall that feigns the 1990s. You know, like you just go in there, like you can buy stuff, but it's like the whole point of it is to give you that experience that you had in the 90s that no longer exists.
I
think gonna take one of those dead malls and then just open a shop there.
Yeah, just but reinvigorate it, bring it back to life, like have like a movie theater playing old 90s movies.
Or like if you can't get the brand names, do parody names. Like instead of Walden Books, do Halden Books. Or
the dollar image.
Or Moon Coast Video. Like obvious parody names. Like you can't get the rights to the names, but do obvious parody names. Like instead of Hot Topic, it's Hot Bobbit or whatever.
What, Lorena Bobbitt?
Lukewarm discussion.
Yeah. But it would be cool to like have that stuff like in a museum and to like give us a snapshot of like, because we know there's like greaser cafes, you know, the old 50s diners and stuff. Like there's things that our previous generations can look back on and like reminisce about, but they're really like all we're seeing now is just a whole bunch of bastardizations of stuff that we enjoyed in the 90s.
We cracked the code for arcades. Okay, what you do is you put a bunch of old arcade machines and you serve alcohol. Bam!
Yeah.
You brought back arcades.
Yeah,
like barcades aren't like super common, but they're not like you usually got a couple in your area. You know, barcades are great. I love barcades.
I love them too.
That that discordant sound when you walk into the arcade for the first time and every machine is vying for those quarters in your pocket. Yes. Like that is such a great sound.
Yeah, there was a spot near me that was like in the basement of a bar. It had like really cool 80s lighting. It had like a row of pinball machines and like the N64 you could rent. It actually closed down recently. I don't know if alcohol fixes everything. Oh god. But yeah, barcades are great. And that's how you know.
Yeah. But I want to see like the Power Ranger mannequins with all their outfits and be like, this is what Hayam Sabang brought us in 1993. And here, like just walk through the different like here are the Ninja Turtles.
I do think at some point probably the best we can hope for is like a VR experience. Because like I think that's probably the best hope for VR.
I'd be puking the whole time.
is to explore spaces that are lost to us, like old like an old mall or stuff like that. Because really, here's what I want to do. I want to get an omnidirectional treadmill and a VR setup. Like, and I set that in the corner of my living room, and that's my VR setup.
Mm-hmm.
You can do that pretty easily.
Yeah, I know. And once I have money, I plan on doing it.
I'm not going to gloss over the fact that Chris said he's going to be vomiting violently while he's like in VR. Yeah. I just imagine him in this virtual museum, just it's the white Power Ranger.
Well, no, the when Sony for the PS4 had their PSVR, like that was our first kind of consumer level, like super easy, accessible VR experience. So I popped it on, and it has a microphone built into the headset, and you can hear like there's this game that I got with it called it was like Mechs or suits or something. Basically, it was like you're playing in those giant load lifter suits that Ripley was in at the end of Aliens, and you're trying to play like a sport, like I don't know, you're moving the ball across a field or whatever. And everybody that's talking in this virtual world, it was all 3D positional, so you get like the Doppler effect. Like some guy was in his machine while we were waiting in the practice thing, and he was just blasting back and forth with the rockets on his thing, and it sounded like Peter Griffin. You just hear, So I'm in there. And the nausea does not hit you gradually. So I'm in the thing, I'm looking down, I see another person's body while I'm looking down, and I'm walking around, and I got the ball. And all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? And it's like my vision starts rippling. Like it looks like I'm looking at the surface of water, just rippling. And I'm like, oh God, hold on. And I didn't realize that my headset was still on. And I'm like, and then like people like the next thing I know, I look up, I put the headset back on, and there's a whole bunch of mechs all around me. They're like, "You okay, buddy? Happened to me too. You okay?" And I'm like, "I gotta go." And I was laid out for 6 hours afterwards, like lying on my couch.
Holy crap!
Yeah, I had the bed spins from a VR experience. So I can't do VR.
That is brutal. The Peter Griffin guy's like, Lois, he's vomiting.
Yeah, I've tried VR a couple times. Like, I once knew a guy, he had like a Quest 2, and I put it on, I was doing like the Jedi thing where he had like the lightsabers, you needed like deflect it. That was, it wasn't Beat Saber. It was like stuff was coming at you and you needed to like deflect it with your lightsaber. It was actually pretty fun.
Sweet.
Is that the Vader game, maybe? I want to.
Yeah, it was the Vader game. I think it was Vader Immortal. It was like the training session thing.
Nice.
I have a VR headset. I've barely used it. Sadly, it's just, and now it's kind of outdated, right? Because now we have the PS5 and all. It's MetaQuest. MetaQuest is the one I've been most tempted on. But again, like if I didn't even use the first VR, it's like I'm not going to waste that money again.
Yeah, I'm kind of tempted by the new MetaQuest 3, which is like $300. And the thing I like about the MetaQuest is it's a system in and of itself, but you can also plug it into your computer and use the PC VR that way.
Yep. I have the Quest 2. I got it given to me by my company, and it sits in the closet. But I like you said, it's you could walk around outside with it if you wanted to.
Yeah, don't get robbed though. Like all these people with the Apple headsets and stuff. I'm like, do you really want to do this in public? Like you're on a
Oh,
bus and someone just takes your
Apple.
photo?
See, that Apple headset bombed so hard. I think Apple
Yeah, it did.
realized, you know, our people will buy anything we put out, but I think we reached our limit by trying to price this thing at $3,000.
Yep. That and VR, it has limited appeal, especially for like the motion sick people. But AR, on the other hand, does not. And I think we'll start seeing more AR-based games and AR-based technology. In fact, Meta, that same company that's doing the Quest 3, they recently released Life in Subtitles, which is absolutely amazing, where they have these glasses that look like those, those birth control glasses they give you in the military, the big black thick ones. Well,
what do you mean birth control?
Yeah, that's what they call them because nobody wants to bang people wearing those glasses. You put on those glasses, they look innocuous. They don't look like they're technical or technological in any way, shape, or form. You put them on, they have a microphone and a processor, and I think there's even a remote you can put in.
We need the Google Glass to return. Google Glass is ahead of its time.
Well, this will translate. So, like they showed, like there was this deaf woman who was like crying because she's like, "This is amazing! Like I can actually it'll actually do like." When a sound occurs, it'll do like the two little asterisks and say like crickets chirping, or like sound of airplane flying by. And she like looks up, there's a plane, And for me, it's amazing because like I have this thing called auditory neuropathy. The more nervous I get, the more difficult it is for me to understand what people are saying. That's why I'll never be a waiter at a restaurant. But if I had that, I could literally just have it in subtitles.
Yeah, I think it's a great innovation for people who
imagine traveling,
right?
Like imagine traveling. Let's say you're going to Italy and both people are wearing their sets of glasses. I'm talking English. This lady's talking Italian, and we're getting subtitles on our glasses, and we can actually communicate.
Yeah, it'd be the Chewbacca Han Solo effect.
She can tell me to piss off, and I'll actually understand what she's saying.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I think the glasses are awesome, especially for people who need like support in different ways. I think it's a great innovation. What I don't like about those glasses is that you can record videos, and it's very subtle, and it's just like it seems like a privacy breach, in my opinion.
Yeah, that was the same thing was happening with Google Glass. I know the movie theater companies. They freaked the frick out with the Google Glass because people are gonna go and record movies with their Google Glass. Like the Google Glass could record at most a half hour's worth of video.
Yeah, I don't know. There's something that weirds me out a little bit about that. It's like you can just look at someone's direction and you're just automatically filming. It's weird.
Well, also I've seen technology where they have that where you look in someone's direction and suddenly there's this rectangle over their face and it spits out their name, their address, their phone number.
Yeah,
because
see, the problem is
linked with Facebook, right? So then they have all that data.
Yeah.
Who here has seen the episode White Christmas on Black Mirror?
I have not watched any Black Mirror, but it seems interesting.
See, the problem with Black Mirror is we're quickly heading into a Black Mirror direction. Like you watch a lot of Black Mirror episodes.
Yeah, this is already happening.
Yeah.
So much for your futuristic.
White Christmas, the technology is basically everyone has like an AR thing directly implanted in their brains, and you can block somebody in real life. And what that does is it grays them out. They can't talk to you. If they try to approach you, they look like a gray blur.
Oh, yeah. The unpersoned people, they just...
That's weird. Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot of... everybody panic. Everybody panic. He's here.
I don't know how to panic on command.
But
I have IBS.
I actually do think you really should watch at least the early seasons of Black Mirror.
Yeah.
I mean, it starts off strong. Like the first episode, National Anthem, they basically a terrorist abducts a princess of England, and through social pressure, he makes the prime minister have relations with a pig live on it.
Yeah, and everybody has to see it. Yeah, he's banging a pig.
Oh my god, okay. I don't know. Black Mirror I find interesting, but I'm like, there's just so many conspiracies out there. I'd rather look at real conspiracies than like what Black Mirror thinks is going to happen in the future.
I don't know how many times I've quote tweeted and I said this is literally an episode of Black Mirror, like some news report, and it's just they're just saying something that's like happened on Black Mirror, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the thing is that's why Black Mirror has kind of lost its luster. I would say after season 2 or 3, when it started getting really, let's just say the message, the narrative, if you know what I mean, modern.
Well, the first 2 seasons are definitely a successor to the Twilight Zone. I think.
Yeah.
If you sat Rod Serling and had him watch like the first 2 seasons of Black Mirror, he would approve of it. The problem is they went from we want to tell stories with like a message, to let's just tell like weird stories. Like it's like season 3 had an episode about the social credit system of China, and it had Bryce Dallas Howard in it.
Oh yeah, and that's happening now.
Yeah.
They even made an Orville episode out of that. The vote up, vote down.
Oh God, yeah. I think that was the episode when they realized, holy crap, the Orville Orville's a great show. I'm just gonna say that.
I loved it.
Is that like the Star Trek knockoff, or am I?
Yeah,
it's more Star Trek than actual Star Trek.
Yeah, it started off as a comedic parody of Star Trek: The Next Generation, and it turned out to be better Star Trek than all that Discovery crap and everything else that Star Trek was being made.
Oh, and season 3 is phenomenal. Star Trek: New Horizons they did on Hulu. They kind of dropped the comedy aspect. Like, there's still laughs, but they just went, okay, we're Star Trek now, and it is amazing.
Nice.
It's like kind of like for the fans, by the fans, almost. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Well, you heard so Seth MacFarlane approached Paramount with the idea that because Seth MacFarlane was actually in Voyager as an extra, and he loved Star Trek and he wanted to produce a Star Trek show, and Paramount basically told him to get effed, and he's like, well, I'll just bring this over to Fox because I have a lot of clout there. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, here you go. You're our breadwinner for Family Guy and all this stuff. So yeah, go right ahead. So he made a comedic parody, and the first season of the show is like very, very funny. And then they tone down the comedy and go straight into like what we really liked about Star Trek: The Next Generation. And it was like, holy crap, how come this only has like three seasons? Like, this is really good.
Supposedly they're moving forward with the 4th season.
God, I hope so. I enjoy it.
I've watched interviews with some of the actors, and they say the thing that really holds it up is Seth MacFarlane is really perfectionist, and he wants to make sure the scripts are all perfect before they start the season. And that's what really holds the show up, is it like because like it went on to Hulu, and from what I understand, it did well on Hulu. Like, people love,
yes. Rest in peace,
yes.
legend.
So they had Norm Macdonald as Yaphet. He was literally goo.
Yeah, big puddle of slime. It's an alien slime.
They literally did a scene where he's goo and he's having like relations with like the doctor woman, and they kind of make it work. Like, they kind of make it work.
There's nothing like a middle-aged black woman being sexually what is it, in sexual congress with a big puddle of CGI goo, and she's like, oh yeah, oh.
It helps that it's like a 3-second shot, but
yeah. Well, the reaction of the characters, like when they cut to the reaction shot of the characters, like when you're laughing so hard that your mouth is open, your eyes are closed tight, and you're not making a noise. That was me for about 5 minutes watching that.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, Angel. Oh God, I'm a huge Buffy fan. I have watched a lot of Angel. I've never actually like watched everything.
What?
Back.
Finish Angel. What are you doing here?
Dude, yeah, David Boreanaz is awesome, man.
Oh, I've watched a lot of Angel, but it was more just like when it came on reruns on TNT, I'd always watch it. I've watched it so out of order. I've never watched it in order.
It's arguably better than Buffy.
Yeah,
like it's
like
really good.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it. Look, I didn't believe it, but we did the watch order. James is a big Buffy Angel fan, and so he showed me this recently. And we did the watch order and everything, and I was at the end of everything. I was like, damn, I don't know which show is better. Like, they're both really good. And
I'm a huge Buffy fan.
Like Buffy starts really high and it just slowly teeters down, and then Angel starts like kind of boring, and it just like by the end of it, I'm like, whoa, this show is so good.
Well, the problem is the end of season 5 was meant to be the end of the show, and that that's why they killed Buffy at the end of season 5. It was they got their 100 episodes. WB was canceling the show, and then UPN picked it up, and you could just tell it feels like a zombie after it. Like, you get some good stuff. Like, season 6 is really weird. It feels like they don't know what to do. Season 7, it's like, all right, we know we're ending the show. At least we have an end point. But season 6 is like, I mean, my favorite episode of Buffy is Tabula Rasa, where they all get like switched around. I think that's a really fun episode.
That is a fun episode, yeah.
Once More Feeling, which, by the way, Buffy started the musical episode trend. It did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Cordelia, yeah.
Oh, man, I love Cordelia, and it's insane what they did to her. And I don't know how far you got, so I don't want to, like, spoil anything.
I know
it's bad.
Yeah. All right, so Nix has got to head out. But I know she really came into her own on Angel. I know that. It's like she had a good character art on Buffy, but when she moved over to Angel,
when I first saw her, I didn't like her on Buffy, but when she's on Angel, she's fantastic. Like, she's so good. And then they do a lot to her character that's not good. They just like completely hate her.
Is Warren the guy that shot?
He got skinned. I'm bored. Whoosh.
Oh.
See,
you know what's really cruel is Willow's girlfriend Tara. She was never, like, the first episode they put her in the credits is the one where they killed her. That was cruel.
That was so weird to me. Yeah, but talking about the whole like point that I thought the show was gonna stop and everything, the thing, I'm so mixed.
I'll be right back. Keep talking.
Yeah, sounds good. I feel like they should have ended the show there, but also, like, I really love the Dark Willow arc. I think that's some of the best content in Buffy entirely, and including with Angel. Like, Angel has a lot of good stuff, but to me, Dark Willow was like one of the best things to happen, and just like Xander de-escalating everything and just showing that, like, you literally can't stop this person. It's just humanity that does it. And that's why I get so mad when people hate on Xander, because it's like Xander's the best one out of all of them.
Yeah, he's the heart.
He's the only one that's grounded the entire time. He like has to deal with all these people all the time.
Xander is my favorite character. Xander is
he's great.
I basically watched the episode through him.
He's fantastic. And it's like he has to deal with everyone's issues constantly, and he's depressed and everything.
Oh, God.
So why would you bring up Felicia Day? I hate Felicia Day with a passion.
Explain the lore.
Do you want to date my avatar?
Exactly.
Okay.
Chris gets
Explain
it.
The lore. Explain this lore, please.
I'm going to try to keep the politics of why I hate Felicia Day out of it, and just say that, Felicia Day, if I ever see you on the street, I am going to wear a Call of Duty shirt, and I'm going to laugh at you. So, you know about this lore, right?
No, I don't.
Okay, in 2014, she made a tweet about a certain movement, and she pretty much, again, her entire existence is on geek culture, right? Let's be real.
Yeah.
She was like the girl that all the guys would simp over because they were all gamers. And teehee, she knows video games. And she makes this tweet pretty much saying, like, if I see a man in a Call of Duty shirt, I'm crossing the street. I don't feel safe. And it just makes me so angry that it's like, you made your entire living off of appealing to these men, and then you go and slap them in the face the second there's a movement that like starts to insult gamers. She's like the worst person ever. She wrote a book about all this stuff. I hate the book. The book is awful. I started reading some of that. It was just terrible. I hate her acting. She's cringe in everything. Yes, she's the female Will Wheaton, exactly. And I also
Will Wheaton himself is a female, so.
Well, here's the thing. Like, I can dish off screen because I don't want to, or off stream because I don't want to tell it all.
Keep it PG-13.
But
I'm gonna say
this is me.
Will Wheaton.
PG-13.
Yeah. Will Wheaton is an asshole on social media, but he's actually a nice guy in person. It's really weird. I know it sounds apologetic, but he's not the asshole that he is on social media.
It's the same thing with Mark Hamill, from what I understand. Like, if you actually meet him at a con and you don't bring up politics, he's actually really
no. Even if you bring up politics, it's like, I don't know why. Like, I don't know if somebody's got dirt on him or what, but like, there's a lot of celebrities that it's like, well, I wouldn't shed a tear if they, missed an elevator car, if you know what I mean. Like, whoops.
Well,
but
he's like, the thing with him, I don't know him personally or anything, so I can't say. But men like that are the types that just kind of let all these insecure women roll them over and take over everything. And then at the same time, they don't feel as passionately about it. They just want to like fit in and get along.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that could be
I'm just gonna slap the obvious label. We're not. This is getting a little bit politicky, but I'm just gonna say it. He's a male feminist, and now we're just with that.
It's your show, man. You choose how much you want to say.
I'm stretching my limits here, but I just wanted to at least put the label on it. And just,
like Felicia Day, on the other hand, like
I hate
she puts out. It's like the opposite of Will Wheaton. Like we were saying that like she's the female Will Wheaton or whatever, but it's like
she's worse.
Well, it's what you see on the screen. She's like super nice and bubbly or whatever, and then don't touch me, get away from me. You know what I mean?
She was part of that Henry Cavill interview, wasn't she? Where she was like mocking Henry Cavill for being a nerd. I swear she was there too, or someone that looked
trying
like her.
No,
well, actually, the interview that was actually the co-stars. I think the Yennefer and the Siri actress. It's where like asking about Warhammer, and then him and the Dandelion actor just started talking about Warhammer. I think like Felicia Day wasn't really mocking him.
Yeah, she was there.
Yeah, and she was trying to get into it. Like I don't think she like this is the one time where I'm not going to bash her, but I think she honestly was like asking questions about it. Like she legitimately like was trying to get into it.
I don't trust her.
It was the interviewer and the and Cavill's female co-stars from The Witcher.
The Yennefer and the Siri actress, because like it's just really annoying. It's like the only reason they put up with him is because he's a star and they think he's hot. I'm sorry, the Siri actress just like every time the interview, she's just staring at him like imagine she's addressing him with his eyes. It's kind of uncomfortable. But like every time we start talking about the geek stuff, she rolls her eyes and then she gets back to thinking about him naked.
Oh God.
It's really annoying, like watching the stuff where he just passionately talks like, oh, here he goes again. He's talking about his action figures.
Yeah.
But she is the crux of that. Felicia Day is that. She just makes money off of she just makes money off of being like, look at me.
She fumbled Critical Role. Critical Role started on Geek and Sundry. And they basically fumbled it. They could have like rid the success of Critical Role, and Geek and Sundry could have been a lot better, but they fumbled that bag so hard. Because remember, Critical Role originally started on Geek and Sundry.
Well, I think that like and I could be wrong on this, but like I think a lot of like the male resentment to women in geeky stuff is a result of people like Felicia Day.
Yes, thank you. She is the problem. She is the reason why people get mad to begin with, because she's exactly what that is. She is the girl that takes a controller and sticks it in her mouth and is like, "Look at me, I'm so sexy." She is that person.
Thank you. Okay. I just need to say this. Like not all girl gamers are girl gamers. Okay.
Yeah, you can be a gamer. It doesn't matter what you're.
The problem is there is a lot of women who do. The girl gamer, like the sticking the controller in your mouth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're just using it as a platform to further their own like
the problem is there's a lot of women that do come into these spaces, and you like, or it's like the model who dresses up in a cosplay and goes to Comic-Con in San Diego, just to promote their OnlyFans. Their dress is Morgana, like Darkstalkers, which is kind of thing. Like that's why. You always hear like, oh, we hate that we have to justify things, like because there's so many people that don't know crap and they come in and they act. Yeah.
You talk to like any real female gamer, and they are usually complaining about those people.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It's just like constant. And Felicia Day to me is the mascot of that person. So I have a special event. Yes, I am confirming that. Women are absolutely the problem because they just want to like get
She
male
said it, not
attention.
us. She said it, not us.
Here's my misogynist card.
Do you know how many women just view this as an opportunity to gain attention from men, and that's the only reason that they care about any of this stuff?
What's the George Collins phrase? Fellas don't try to understand women. Women understand women, and they hate each other.
Yes. The amount of women that hate me because I call them out when they act like this is hilarious. They get
have
so
you ever
mad and
seen-
threatened by me because I'm like, yeah, I played a Sonic game and I will rant about it for 3 hours. And it won't be attractive because I'll be saying all sorts of things, but I can get very autistic about Sonic.
And here's what they also hate. Like they do this because they want attention from the gamer boys, and they see you getting the attention for just being yourself, being authentic. Like,
oh, that was my entire teenage years. I mean,
and the mean
like
girl
I've
shit.
known James my whole life, right? And so he's gotten to even witness it firsthand. And like my friends would get threatened by me having guy friends and playing games with them, and guys would just talk to me to be like, what games are you playing? And my girlfriends would think that those people are hitting on me. And I'm like, no, we're just talking about video games. And they would get threatened by that. So it's like crazy. They just think it's like that's what it is. And it's like, no, I just get along with men because we have similar hobbies. Like I love geek culture. That's all it is. They're asking me how I'm enjoying NHL Hits 2002. Like, and I'm like, yeah, I put big head mode.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Oh, big head mode. Oh my god. I miss those codes for those. Like, remember when a hockey game actually had fatalities?
Yes.
I think it was like one of the Wayne Gretzky games.
Listen, NHL Hits 2002 is the greatest hockey game of all time. There is no better hockey video game to ever exist.
I thought it was NHL 94.
94 is also good, but NHL Hits 2002 is the peak. The peak. I'm not even a hockey fan. I just love that game.
see, like in terms of my favorites, it's got to be NFL Blitz. I love.
Yeah.
That was all like I love NFL.
Exactly.
What I love is even after like the sack, you can still like beat up on people. It's a lot more violent.
You know they edited that. You can't do that in the arcade 1-up machines. Yeah, the post sack violence or the post tackle violence that we've all enjoyed. Yeah,
the whole entire reason to buy the game.
Do I need to take an axe to my TMNT arcade 1-up? Are they censoring games?
Yeah, they are. There's like in fact, remember what is it like? They're not just putting in emulators. Like they're not just running like a Raspberry Pi or whatever and playing an emulator.
They're like, literally altering the game like a remaster.
Yeah. If you've played Killer Instinct, for example, do you remember Killer Instinct in the arcade where it's like coming to home theater or home in 1994?
Did they take out the best finishing move ever?
Well, you actually no, you can still see it, but you don't see like side boob or anything. But
I don't know enough about Killer Instinct, but I do trust your opinion.
Okay. So there's one of the finishing moves is Jade literally flashes the opponent, and they're so blinded by the amazing sight they see, they just die.
Well, it's funny because Black Orchid there or Borkid,
Orchid.
Yeah, she's got these giant Aladdin shoes boobs because like
it's 1990
PG, and like it's like that would shatter any person's back, let alone this little like toothpick wasted woman or whatever. And she like whips out her jugs as a fatality. She puts her back to the screen and whips them out to show somebody. And when she does it to another player that's playing Orchid, the female chick, she just looks at her, looks down at her own boobs, and goes, "Oh."
That's cinema. That's peak cinema. Like this is what I love about video games. And like so many like women get insecure about all this stuff, and you see the desexualization of women in gaming and just like toning them all down. I love that stuff. I'm straight. I just think it's hilarious. It's not even about being attracted to any of it for me. It's just like, this is fun and creative and cool. Let's keep doing it.
Here's a problem I have. A lot of the women like, women don't. It's sexist to draw women. Like, have you seen how women draw women? Like, honestly, they like. I love seeing women draw women. Like, it's very well done.
Well, not only that, but like, it's so. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you go do your thing, please.
All right, yeah, just to point out the double standard. Like, they're like, oh, that's just a male power fantasy. Well, what do you think the sexiness is for women? Like. It's all power fantasy. Like, that's the whole point of entertainment and escapism. Like, the naked, jacked out of his tree dude in a loincloth or whatever. Like, no guy is going to get that kind of physique.
I mean, do you think that Marvel puts a shirtless, roided out scene in every Marvel movie for the guys?
Yeah, I'm not watching.
Do you really think they made Chris Pratt train for a gym every day for 6 months for the dudes? Do you really think they pumped Do you
I
really
mean,
think
If it was
do you
from
really-
Parks and Rec to Guardians of the Galaxy, I don't think he could have pulled off Star-Lord looking like that. Like Parks
do you
and Rec,
really
he was
think
pretty chubby.
do you really think Batista pumped himself up full of steroids for 20 plus years for the men?
That's wrestling, so it's a whole other conversation, even though it crosses over
And
with film.
movies.
But yeah, he's something else. I don't know.
And this is another thing. I get like some people like that is a thing people like. I'm not sure if muscle mommies for me kind of fall into the safe horny umbrella.
Well, it's a niche kink.
What do you
I
mean
not
safe horny? How is that safe horny?
because it's empowered women. Like
Because it's okay to come on, you know the whole safe horny
But like
thing.
everyone like simps over Cara Dune, for example, right? Like, isn't that a muscle mommy in like the modern day? Like that wouldn't really be safe horny, would it? I don't know. I'm just trying to understand. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not into the women who can bench press me. Like, I'm sorry, but it seems a little
I
gay to
see
me,
what you're
but-
saying. Okay, yeah, I get that angle. Okay. I'm just like a straight female that's just in this hobby, so I'm just like, I don't know, I'm trying to figure it all out because I
Yeah.
don't look at it in the same lens. I'm just like, I just want that. I hate censorship. That's why
I
I'm
mean,
Yeah,
asking.
James,
yeah.
this was a big reason why Supernatural was so popular. Is yes, it was a TV show, but the reason why Supernatural has a strong female fan base is they like oh, Jensen Ackles, he's so hot.
Yeah. Well, and guys don't have a problem with that. Like, we don't care if women like our hobbies because Henry Cavill is a hottie. Like, that's why like we like Henry Cavill, because he's a nerd and guys like him for the nerd stuff. And if he happens to be eye candy to get our girlfriends to watch it too, so be it. You know?
No. Men want to role play with Henry Cavill. Women want to do a different kind of role play with Henry Cavill. I'm sorry.
I just appreciate him for being an actual nerd and caring, and I'm so pissed off
Yeah.
how he was treated with The Witcher. I'm pissed off that the Warhammer thing seems like it's not going to happen. I don't know what he did to upset someone in Hollywood, but he seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. Superman, he got screwed over too. I just want to see an actual geek get to do geek stuff. That's really where I stand with it.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. That's Henry's problem. He doesn't fall in line. He, because for example, on The Witcher, he kept speaking up about, oh, this is not the lore. This is not the lore.
Yeah.
Like, for example, there's this one thing where his horse died, and apparently they had like this Marvel-esque joke plan, and he's like, I'm not doing that. And so he actually wrote a very nice, touching scene. And that's the reason, like, they call him problematic because he was clashing with them on set over, they wanted to do increasingly stupid stuff. And
yeah, but this is all ego, right? This is like
Yep.
a lot of women in the writing room saying, oh, you don't like what I'm writing, so you have a problem with me then? No, this is business, and you have to take emotion out of it. We're trying to produce something that's quality, that is appreciative to the fans, that actually respects the material. And sorry, if you're not able to do that, then get out of the writer's room. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's not
quick
man,
aside,
woman, anything. I don't care.
if you made it this far, if you like sexy women or if you like shirtless dudes, please give us a like either way. We really do appreciate it.
Yeah, and the thing is like, I think it makes women writers look bad when you get these ideologically like, or maybe narcissistic. I don't know what the correct diagnosis is, but like, you look at somebody like Amy Hennig, for example, who wrote The Legacy of Kain. Yeah, who wrote Uncharted. Like, that's what I want to see from a writer.
You want to talk about
Harry
sexism?
Potter.
You want to talk about sexism? Amy Hennig got booted from Uncharted 4 by Neil Cuckman. I'm sorry, I'm not. I
Who
refuse
acts
to call
like
him by.
more of a woman than she does. By the way,
Why did you call him Neil Cuckman?
I consider Amy Hennig the queen of video games. To me, she
Same here.
is the queen, and she deserves way more respect. And
Are you excited for the
nobility.
Marvel game she's working on?
I'm gonna play it because she's working on it. I don't
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
care.
She's the last rock star, to be honest. In video game development, she's the last rock star. I hear that name and I'm instantly interested in whatever project she's working on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
the only way they could do a new Soul Reaver is if they had like, all right, hey, here's Amy Hennig, here's the keys of Soul Reaver. Do whatever you want. We're giving you money. We know this is gonna sell because your name is attached to it. Because I guarantee you, if they do a new Soul Reaver game and Amy Hennig is directing it, it will sell.
Yep.
that will be the game of the year.
Yeah.
Like whatever
got
year
my
it
money.
comes out. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna be buying the new remaster anyways because I just want to show them that I want more Legacy of Kain.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Yeah, vote with the wallet. Man. But
So anyways,
just
women are
sucks
the
that-
problem.
Yeah, it just sucks that like it's like when I say the term feminized or feminist or what, like I'm not referring to women. I'm referring to this weird modern like thing where there's this need to like emasculate men, to put down men and make them effete and comedic and stupid. So that like in marketing, there's that archetype, the mook and the midriff. Like in marketing, you learn that if you want to cater to the male demographic when you're selling a product, then you put a midriff archetype in your advertising. And basically what that is it's an attractive woman that you can usually see her midriff that's exposed. And the idea, the subtle messaging is buy this product so that the sexy woman will have sex with you. Like that's the mook marketing.
The beer
That's
commercial.
the midriff. Yeah.
The beer commercial thing.
And then the opposite of that, if you want to cater to the woman, is the mook, which is put a emotionally, physically, and mentally retarded character, a male character that needs to be shown by a superior, intellectually, physically, whatever woman to show them like this guy is too stupid to clean this floor. And then the woman comes out and like just does it in 1 second. It's like, oh, and she's like, there's that need to dominate, and we've seen that mook get moved from advertising into our entertainment media. The Homer Simpson archetype, the dad in All the Families is this stupid shit, and the woman is this like supermodel. And it's like that doesn't like supermodel women don't go for the dumbass. Like you're selling.
I mean, have you seen have you seen Kevin James's wife?
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
unless
but
it's
he's also
the
rich.
Adam Sandler movie, then that happens.
Yeah.
No, Kevin. Have you seen Kevin James's wife? She's a hottie.
Yeah, but men
Kevin
just
James
have to
has-
be funny. Like
Yeah.
attractive women will date men that are smart and funny. They don't have to be like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's like we somehow took what was essentially shorthand for marketing personnel to easily sell products to people, to now all of our entertainment media is like that. And like,
Well, it's because the marketing people are in the writer's room now.
And they discount like the male. Like, do you know why self-deletion is up with the male demographic? Because they don't have any purpose anymore. They don't have an escape.
Okay, that's getting a little bit too far in the weeds for this
No,
discussion.
it could be, but that's what I'm trying to say is this.
Yeah.
We put this ideologues or these people that are pushing, because a lot of these writers, like back in the day, like Amy Hennig or even before her, Roberta Williams, like even Joe Rowling, like these are people that wrote from life experience. Okay, they did stuff. They actually had a life and they wrote things, and now that's where we get our stories from. These modern ideologues are like, I watched Buffy. I'm going to write a story because I know, like, I'm going to make it kind of Buffy-esque. So
I just wanted to highlight another female creator. Like, are you familiar with Catherine Bigelow?
Bigelow?
She's a director. Like, have you seen the movie Hurt Locker?
Oh yeah.
She directed it. Like, Catherine Bigelow is she used to be married to James Cameron. That says so. Like, basically, she divorced James Cameron and he made True Lies because of that.
Wow.
Oh, really?
She survived James Cameron. Good for her.
I know. She didn't get like assassinated or something.
Not only that, but they remained friends. So he was that hard up.
Wow.
Friends. Okay.
Yeah, she made friends with the bear in the cage with her. But
no, but like Catherine Bigelow did Hurt Locker, which in my opinion is a very manly movie, but it was done by a woman. Like I think women can be empathetic enough to get like the male experience. Human.
Well, that's a writer. A good writer can write something that they themselves aren't.
Yeah, like the key to writing is empathy. If you're not empathetic, because to be I'm sorry, I'm speaking from the heart here. To be a writer is to cast yourself into another person's shoes. Otherwise, you just get a bunch of Mary Sues running around, which is kind of modern media.
And then they all clapped.
Yeah. And then the napkins clap, and then the walls clap, and then the light fixture on the other side of the planet clap because you're so awesome.
But it's what it's doing though is it's creating this gun-shy resentment from male viewers who have been so browbeaten by the feminized writers that there is now this like, I don't even know, like this antipathy there for like
it's
female
apathy.
writers.
here, like,
No.
and this is a problem we're running into. We're like the chickens are finally coming home to roost. Is a lot like you tell people this isn't for you. If you don't like it, don't. If you don't like my comic, don't buy my book. If you don't like the video game, don't buy it. If you don't like the show, don't watch it. You say that to people for 5 years. Eventually, they're going to listen, and that's the problem we're having now.
Well, there's also like pattern recognition, and if they see that like all of their stuff that was ruined is by these feminized writers, the moment a woman writer comes in and they're like, oh god, it's gonna get, you know what I mean? Like there's this horrible knee jerk
like
reaction.
The Ghost of Yotai reaction is a perfect example of that. Where they announced that it's like, oh, female, oh, the actress is an activist, and people are sounding the alarms.
I wouldn't know. She blocked me.
She couldn't stand. She couldn't stand to see a strong woman on her timeline.
I was interested in the game, and I saw someone say "congratulations," tagged her name as the actress, and I was like, "Oh, cool. Let's see if she's happy about the game and congratulate her." And I clicked her profile, and I was blocked. So,
what probably happened? What probably happened is she probably used like a block bot before the announcement as like a preemptive strike. That's
so. What does that tell you about her, though?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like you're on some watch list, Melee.
Well, yeah, obviously that part, but I'm just saying, like, that to me says if people are concerned, given the current climate, I don't blame them, especially when the lead voice actress is literally blocking people before the game's even announced. So and I'm not saying that's necessarily going to bleed into the actual game, but I think that's a red flag for people, and that is pattern recognition, and people should point that out.
And that's what's like it's turned into like a feedback loop too, because we've now conditioned our audience to no longer look at something and be like, I guess, optimistic about it, or like, I'm like remember when you were younger and you're like, oh, I can't wait to see this film, or oh, did you see the trailer for this? This looks awesome. Now it's like, oh boy, how are they gonna fuck this up?
So here's a classic example. Okay, Metroid came out today. They'd all say it's woke. Like, no, we all knew Samus was a woman from day one. We all knew she was a woman. Like Super Metroid, when she died, you saw that she was a woman. I remember seeing that as a kid, while I was playing Super Metroid. It's like, oh, Samus is a woman. I was like, oh, surprise. Like, I was like, oh, that's a piece of information. Filed away, kept playing the game.
It's all arguments just to make you feel guilty for recognizing what's actually going on, in my opinion. Like, I just don't care when people make these arguments anymore. It's like, okay, cool. I'm going to keep spending my money the way I want to. And if you have a problem with that, I don't care because it's my money. I will buy whatever games I want. I will support whatever I want. And I will talk about whatever I want. So
yeah, same thing. Like, I get that people got mad about the Dragon Quest thing. But I'm still buying the game because it looks amazing. And I really love the 2D HD art style that Square is doing. This is a game I want to support. I've been looking forward to this game for a while. And honestly, it has like there's kind of like a line where like, okay, this is too much and I'm done. They're well below that line,
Well, whenever they add like, and I hate to sound like Az from Heel versus Babyface, but like I see the pronouns and like I'm out. I'm sorry. Like I don't want, like, if somebody talks to me and somebody sees me and they still don't know what my pronouns are, like, I'm offended by that. Like, really?
What about in Asari's pronouns? How do you feel about that? From Mass Effect.
Well, considering the original codex, like, dude, I was a Mass Effect nerd. Like, I had all the books, I had all the collector's editions.
That thing is so ridiculous, man. I'm so annoyed by it.
And didn't the new tabletop game and like people are like the creators getting mad at people.
Yeah, and the Asari are like she, they, even though they should just always be she because Asaris are female, and then they reproduce and make more of their own kind.
Yeah,
they
and they're the most sexualized race in Mass Effect, and that's when you're going to demasculate, or I guess defeminize in this case.
Like the Asari literally talk about, oh yeah, every Asari has their hoe phase. Oh, don't worry about it. Like I'm playing through Mass Effect 2 right now, and there's like this one scene where this woman says, "Oh, I had to be the father for this one." It's not it's not. It's just she had to take the role of the father in the situation.
Make sure you bang Samara, but save beforehand. That's all I have to say.
In Mass Effect 1, I romanced Liara, and I'm sticking to my girl.
You know, Samara
Right.
is Billie Eilish's
It's Ashley or nothing. Come on.
mother.
The space racist?
Yes.
The based space person? Yes.
I'll say I know everyone
The one
seems
who
to love-
cares about humanity? Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna bang the one who cares about humanity.
Here's what I can't understand. Everyone seems to love Miranda. I don't. She's
What?
kind of a prissy bitch.
No. Miranda's like the side piece. You take her for that one game, you know?
I'm gonna be honest.
It's fine.
I'm gonna be honest with you, because I got to
She'll
that
forgive
point
you.
where Miranda and Jack were fighting. I sided with Jack because
Opinion disregarded, siding with Jack ever, the objectively worst, and there's Tally there, and still Jack is worse.
Oh, Tally's best girl. Tally is best girl.
No, Tally is. Oh God, everyone simps for Tally, and it's like, bro.
Because she's adorable. I just want to protect
Bro.
her and pat her.
Do you
on
like
the head.
the clip art photo of Tally?
Yeah,
by any
that was
chance? Are you a
hilarious.
fan of that?
Yeah, they like photoshopped a finger off and then turned it blue and shit. Like,
This
what?
is all moot. I usually play female in this game anyways, and then Garrus tries to bang me and I run away and I'm like, please don't. You're a bro.
Okay,
We're supposed to
okay.
snipe things together. Stop.
Okay, here's the thing. My character is straight. Here's the thing. Like, I love how everyone just simps for Garrus, but Garrus is my bro. Like, I take him on all
Garrus
my
is the
missions.
bro. He's not supposed
Yeah.
to. That's not supposed to happen, you know? He's the bro.
What about
You go
Jessica
shooting
Chobot?
together. Is she the one you punch in the face?
Unfortunately, no. She
Which one
does
you
look
punched
like
in
she
the
was punched in the face, though.
Yeah.
The model for her gave her like hamster cheeks. And she's a side piece girl. You can bang her and still have a like a romance option with one of the other playable characters.
There you
And
go.
I was just like-
why not get all that you can?
Yeah, well, I didn't even know. Like, I was just being nice. I didn't
Hey,
realize that.
Spoosy!
Well, like, I didn't even know she was a sexual like possibility. So I was just being nice to her. And the next thing I know, I like hit a button, and then it goes into like a movie. And I'm like, whoa, abort! Stop! I don't want the hamster cheeks.
The one time being a nice guy actually works.
I just love the intention behind that.
It's
I
an
didn't want
incel
to bang
fantasy.
you.
It's an like I swear, Mass Effect 2. It's like they saw the Fox News of like Mass Effect is a sex simulator. You do every position. The Mass Effect 2 was like, hold my beer. We're gonna really piss off Fox News now.
God, yeah.
That's the point of those games. You want to get immersed, right? Relationships
Sure.
happen.
Oh, I
Fully
definitely
immersed in
got
her.
immersed.
Well, they
You said it,
edited
not
those
me.
games too.
Yeah.
They censored them. You no longer there's that conversation where Shepard's talking to Miranda, and the dialogue option pauses. You know, because it pauses the conversation until you get the option, and it zooms in on her butt cheeks in the original one.
Yeah.
And they like completely like panned the camera up like 12 inches, and it's like, what was the point of that? Like that was.
Wait, are you saying they removed the ass from Mass Effect?
Yeah, Ass Effect.
Now it's just Meffect.
Effect.
That's it. That's all we got now.
So
Meffect.
let's kind of get back on topic about Scooby Doo. That was a nice diversion. I mean, this is a Friday Night Frenzy. It is to be expected.
I just want to say I've been playing the movie in the background and it just ended. So
Oh, woohoo!
So I did like the movie. I just hated the farting scene. It was. Oh God! I'm sorry. Like just farting in movies. You can tell James wrote that script.
I mean, I'm not a fan either, but it kind of makes sense in Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
It goes on for way too long.
Yeah, I don't know.
Had a lot of gas.
Exactly. By the way, at one point we were having a serious conversation. I looked over and I saw Buffy's ass, and I was like, "Wow, this movie was great." I just got distracted I was just like looking over. I was like, "Oh, whoa, okay." She's like rock climbing or something. I don't know. It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think this movie's cringe, for the record. I think this is one of the best like adaptations that exists. And I think that everyone should take this as a model for how they adapt their movies going forward. Like, I'm shocked that we don't see more stuff like this.
Yeah, I think that the key to this movie is they got it. They got the franchise. He understood what it was. And honestly, it's really interesting we did Flintstones and we did this, because I think these two movies stand as an example of how to adapt franchise. I think the Flintstones, they got the franchise. They updated it a little bit more than Scooby Doo did, but Scooby Doo, it really understood what the show was about. I think they just understood the essence of the franchise.
If we're doing the comparison, because Hanna-Barbera, I would say that Scooby-Doo worked better as a live-action film
I would
versus
agree.
Flintstones, because Flintstones is a lot more mellow in some ways. I know Fred is like, yeah, whatever, but I'm just saying, like, in the actual plots of the stories, like, Scooby-Doo kind of has more of the intrigue. You can make that into a film really easily.
Yeah,
And
and then
Flintstones has more down
Flintstones was,
points.
and Flintstones was definitely trying to take the movie and put it in like a modern-ish setting, as modern as the Stone Age could be, but it had a modern kind of feel to it. Whereas this one, it's like, okay, let's just take the cartoon, put it in live action.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting that people don't like this film, and what Hardcore Bunny is saying, right? Where it created this like self-referential thing. It's kind of that Joss Whedon effect, right? Where it's like now we see it constantly and it gets obnoxious. I always try to look at it in
Funny
the
you
lens.
said Joss Whedon effect, and there's Buffy right there.
Well, yeah, to me it's very similar, right? But
I mean, he had nothing to do with this movie, but
yeah, but like James Gunn, right? It's like all the
Yeah.
kind of same. But this used to be like not a common thing at all, and it was kind of refreshing and funny. But now everyone is using this formula, and it feels cringe. So I think like modern stuff is more cringe because we're just so tired of it. But like back when this movie came out, it was great. I don't know.
Yeah.
The term I think is like Whedon speak. Like the Whedon speak really kind of invaded, and like I think Avengers was the flashpoint, because Avengers was a hugely successful movie. It had Whedon speak over. I mean, he directed it, but I think that was a movie that brought Whedon speak mainstream. It was Avengers, because if you saw after that movie, every movie was doing a Whedon speak or like a Joss Whedon knockoff.
Avengers wasn't that bad to me. I thought it was decent. I'm not a fan of any of the modern Marvel stuff, but I can still like watch those movies, like specifically the ones that Joss Whedon did. I thought
I
they
agree.
were fine.
But if you look at the MC movies that came out after Avengers and Phase 1,
Oh,
totally
it's
different.
terrible. Yeah. I can't deal with
Like
it.
Phase 2 is kind of a transitionary period. By the time they get to Phase 3, it's all Whedon all the time.
Yes. And I had to watch Agatha all along the first 2 episodes. Oh my god. Don't ever do it to yourself, guys.
Apparently, Agatha all along got worse ratings than The Acolyte.
I'm not surprised.
That is a feat.
Okay, yeah, that is a feat, because Agatha is still an MCU series, and MCU is like the MCU and then Star Wars. Like Star Wars is like in a really bad place. You get lower ratings than for an MCU show to get lower ratings than a Star Wars show is like, that is like, you gotta try to be that bad.
Well, it's because they're turning the stuff into a soap opera now. It's not even comic book stuff at all. I was watching it, and we were talking earlier, right, about this whole like women being like really masculine and stuff. Agatha wanted to like fight people in the first 3 seconds of the show, and I was very confused. And she was just like yelling and being super aggressive constantly. And it was just like so jarring. It's like, who's enjoying this?
Yeah.
And then like she sits down and is drinking wine, and then they're just talking about women's stuff, and it's like no one that's a comic book fan is watching this at all. Like this is for like when you put on soap operas during the day and you have nothing to do and you put this on in the background. That's the only reason people are watching this.
The only thing that I'm excited for is Daredevil, Born Again. That looks really good. What's funny is Kristen Ritter actually got announced. Jessica Jones, like, it really feels back. They're just reintroducing all the Netflix characters. So we're probably going to see another Jessica Jones MCU series.
In all honesty, though, the best part of Jessica Jones was David Tennant. Like,
yeah,
Purple Man made the Jessica Jones series.
That was so good.
Well, the problem is Jessica Jones only really has one good storyline, and that's with the Purple Man. So they did like the one storyline of season 1, and then like, oh, where do we go from here?
Yeah.
I do agree with Bunny, by the way. I do think that Daredevil's going to be ruined. I mean, we already had to deal with the She-Hulk stuff. Like,
they very well might. I know it was guaranteed to be ruined, and then Kevin Feige had to look at it, then he ordered reshoots, and the Netflix stuff. So far, it looks good. I am hopeful, but I'm not going to pretend like it's guaranteed to be good. Like, they very well could ruin it.
Are they
Well,
bringing back the friends? You know, the chick and the guy,
Foggy
Foggy,
and-
whatever. Yeah.
Punisher's back. They even brought back, yeah.
Well, my concern is like, do you remember? You know what's going on with Ryan Reynolds, right? And how he's getting sued.
What? He's getting sued?
So
Yeah.
apparently the She-Hulk stuff, it actually didn't happen. For like I've been hearing conflicting reports that it was actually a joke in like She-Hulk says it in like a Lego game, and then someone actually ran with it. So I don't know. So like the whole like because apparently there was a report that they tried to force She-Hulk into Daredevil and Wolverine, and she was gonna like girl boss it up, but Ryan Reynolds told him to F off. That may not be true. I've been hearing conflicting reports.
So it wasn't just She-Hulk, but Tatiana, whatever her name, like was sued because she was supposedly supposed to be in it, and then had the contract and everything, and then they just pulled the part because Ryan Reynolds was like, "This isn't a girl boss movie," and there was a scene supposedly they ended up replacing a character or whatever with like female Deadpool or whatever. It was supposed to be a scene or whatever of X-23 just kicking everybody's ass. And he's like, no, that's not the like. He fought tooth and nail to like make Daredevil and Wolverine the stars of Daredevil and Wolverine. Because
Deadpool,
there's, I'm sorry, Deadpool and Wolverine. But like what we're seeing in a lot of modern movies now are like what happened with the Super Mario Brothers movie, where you have Mario and Luigi, the Super Mario Brothers, and they backseat Luigi to put Princess Peach in there, and like they
and the only reason it wasn't worse is because Nintendo.
Yeah, at the 11th hour, Nintendo stepped in and changed it. So what I'm worried about with Daredevil is they're going to introduce Elektra, and suddenly Daredevil's going to get backseated in his own series.
Well, what's funny is the Netflix shows are canon, and Elektra is dead in this universe. So they're going to have to revive her.
Yeah.
It's comic books. They revive people all
nobody
the time,
dies.
right? Like,
What's funny is this will be the second
really
time she's revived because she was killed. And then Defenders, they brought her back as a Black Sky. I believe she's dead again. Which, by the way, that Elektra was really good. I really I love the Elektra actress and Murdoch had great chemistry. Like I could totally see them as lovers. And her actress herself was great. She had kind of that like Eva Green kind of like sultriness. Kicked butt, like the action stuff. I totally bought it. Like she was a great Elektra. I think
that whole like Netflix show in general, I just don't think they can replicate how good that was. Like it was so good, and that might be some of the best like comic adaptation ever. And I don't think we're gonna see that going forward.
See, what sucks is Daredevil season 1 is some of the best comic book television ever. Season 2, first half of the Punisher is good. When they get to Elektra stuff, it sucks. Season 3 is amazing. They rescued the show with season 3. I wish they would have done a season 4 because like they had it perfect. They set up they basically redeemed Bullseye. Like they basically we finally buried Colin Farrell's Bullseye, and we have this new Bullseye who's awesome. You got like a 10 episode to build him up, and he's finally Bullseye at the end of the series. You literally saw it, and then nothing. They are bringing him back, actor and all, for this. So that's good.
Nice.
I gotta sneak out, by the way. This has been fun. Let me know if we're gonna talk Sonic at some point again in the future, because I will be there.
We probably will. Around the time the Sonic 3 they'll probably be the Friday Night Frenzy episode. All right. Looks like Chris has got to go too, so we're gonna cap this off. I always wanted to go for 2 hours, but if you guys are gonna go, then it is. So we're gonna wrap this up here. Chris, where can people find you and what you got going on, sir?
Sweet. Yeah, 8 o'clock tonight on Horny Alf's channel. I'll be playing Demonologist with some friends. Dude, I love, like, we played Phasmophobia and had a blast. So we're looking for the kind of, apparently this Demonologist game, it's on Steam right now for like $15.
They're having their sale.
Yeah, like, give it a shot. See if you like what we're playing, and you could probably hear me go, yay!
Melee, you do your thing.
Yeah, cool. Well, thank you for having me on. It's always a fun discussion
Always
and
a
hanging
pleasure.
out with everyone in chat and also on the show, of course. Where you can find me, well, I'm one half of Melee Games, Melee Kate, but there's also Melee James. You might have seen him in chat. And we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. Actually, tomorrow we're going to be playing a game called Raw Off, which is kind of a joke in our community. Our community, they will tip us pretty much $100 to play 10 minutes of this game, and they've gotten it up to 110 minutes because I hate this game with a passion. It's awful. It's like one of the worst tragic games ever. It's just so bad. But I'm going to be playing that tomorrow, and I'm going to be miserable because the game is annoying and cringe, but everyone will laugh at it. And we're also going to be doing candy corn during that, which I find disgusting as well. So you're going to see me miserable with a controller in my hand, eating a bunch of candy corn, questioning my life decisions. That will be at 6 p.m. PST tomorrow, this Saturday. And other than that, we've got Steam Roulette on Sunday. It's going to be a special one because of Halloween season. So if you want to see some spooky games being played, come hang out with us on too. Melee games.
I think they had Typhoid Mary in. I think they had Typhoid Mary in Iron Fist. I think they already.
Yeah,
had
they did. They did.
Yeah. Okay. So as for myself, just if you got this far, please don't forget to. Like, comment, subscribe. Well, you're commenting, but all right. So Screecher is about to enter its final week. We are funded, really close to 1,600. I will be doing a closeout stream with Jared on November 3rd. That's gonna be really sweet. So yeah, I can't wait to get this book in your hands. And yeah, if you haven't backed it yet, link is in the description below. Thank you everyone for joining us. I really appreciate you guys. This was a great episode of Frenzy. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Melee. Thank you, Nix. You're not here, but I'm thanking you anyway. Tomorrow, I'll be playing some Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters, a video game, 2009, the good one. That'll be pretty sweet. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining us. And remember, I can only show you the door. You don't want to walk through it.